Hey gang, welcome to Auspol Explained. As always, I'm your long curly haired host David, and it's time to learn how to vote in Queensland! Of all places! Fun fact, they have elections as well. Who knew? As always, this is not about who to vote for. That's a personal decision for you to decide personally. The only thing I'm going to tell you to do is make sure 1, you're enrolled to vote, and 2, stay hydrated. How much water have you had to drink today? Is it enough? This episode is about how to fill in your ballot and also, a few other extra handy things to know, like how preferential voting works. The official source of information on how voting works in Queensland state elections is the Queensland Electoral Commission. Please visit their website, which is linked in the description, for all your up-to-date information and to learn the answer to any questions you may have that aren't answered in this episode. Say it with me, everyone. The Electoral Commission is your friend. So here's the where, when, and how of voting in Queensland state elections. Let's go! When does voting happen? Well, elections in Queensland happen every 4 years on the last Saturday in October. They can happen earlier if the governor dissolves Parliament due to the government being defeated in a motion of no confidence, or they fail to pass a budget bill. To be fair, that's unlikely. Generally speaking, you can expect it to be every 4 years. Voting on election day happens from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. You can vote early though at early voting centres or via postal vote. There's also telephone voting for people who require it due to impairment like low literacy or are just too physically far away to reach a polling place. Information about that is on the Electoral Commission website. You can only vote, of course, if you're enrolled to vote, so do that in advance. Enrolling to vote and then also voting are both compulsory in Australia, a statement that is bound to cause some argument in the comments section and help boost engagement. Where does voting happen? Pretty standard. It happens in schools, community buildings, etc. To find a polling place near you, visit the Queensland Electoral Commission website. You should also go there to find out which electorate you're in, so if you don't know already, you can look up the candidates in advance. Okay, but the main thing, how does filling in the ballot work? It is really simple. Personally, I believe that this is one of the simplest elections to vote in Australia. There is only one piece of paper because Queensland only has one chamber, the Legislative Assembly. Queensland is the only state in Australia that has a unicameral parliament because it had abolished its upper house, the Legislative Council, in 1922. I do have an episode all about that if you'd like to know the story, but I ain't spending any time on it because I need to get back to explaining how voting works. The ballot will have a list of names of candidates. They'll be going down vertically and there'll be a box next to each name. To vote, you fill in every single box with a 1, 2, 3, etc. in the order that you wish until you've numbered them all. Basically, 1 for your favourite candidate, 2 for your second favourite candidate, 3 for your third favourite candidate, and so on until you filled in all the boxes. Done! See why I said it was simple? It really is. It's just fill in all the boxes with numbers how you want. That being said, if you make a mistake, like repeating a number by accident, that is okay. It happens to the best of us, by which I mean me. I'm the best, and yet I've done that mistake multiple times. Once I did it twice in the same election. I did it twice. For the same ballot. If you do make a mistake, just ask one of the electoral staff for a new ballot, and they can throw away the old one. Ta-da. And then what? Basically, there are 93 seats, 93 members in total for the Legislative Assembly. One member represents your area. To determine who that is, well, first preferences are counted, then if a candidate gets more than 50% of the vote, then they win. Yay! But if no one has more than half the vote, well, then the least popular candidate is eliminated, and their second preferences are counted. And this repeats itself until someone has a majority of the vote. That's the person that the most amount of people would like to be their representative. That's basically the gist of how preferential voting works. Then the government is formed by whoever has a majority, be that a party or a combination of parties and independents. Then the government's decisions are examined and ideas debated by all members of parliament, so even if your preferred candidate doesn't become part of the government but is still elected, they get to put forward views and perspectives that represent you. And that's it. That's how elections work. And that's it. Look up who the candidates are ahead of time. You can find out who is running in your area on the Queensland Electoral Commission website. The Electoral Commission does not provide you with political information, so to find out what the policies are and figure out who best aligns with your values, you'll have to do a little bit of research. Voting is a fundamental part of democracy and a hard fought for right that we are lucky to enjoy, so go out and exercise that right, followed by enjoying a democracy sausage. And that's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share this with someone from Queensland. Subscribe, comment down below what you would like to learn about next, and also thank you so much to my supporters on Patreon who help support me and give me some sweet delicious money so I can buy my own sausages in between elections. That's right, sausages aren't just a treat for every 3 to 4 years. You can have them whenever. And remember, stay hydrated. I'll see you next time.